What's up, guys? This is Mr.C Racing here. We're going to be doing the Fast and Furious, or Too Fast, Too Furious Suki S2000 build, going into the custom liveries, community made. Thank you, Tiago T-Box, for the one that I chose. This is a very nice one, very movie correct. So we're going to be driving Suki's S2000 around two tracks today, Yas Marina Short and Sebring, and we're trying to make this car as like movie realistic as possible. So they said that they have a supercharger on it, so we're doing the centrifugal supercharger. That's the closest option I have. Since we're doing a movie correct build, it's not the most optimal S2000 build. I know when we think about the S2000 as Forza players, we think of OP, and that this car is really good no matter what you do. And I'm here to show you that you can ruin this car and drive it terribly. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So we just threw a race transmission in, and now we're going to the second most important part, the wheels. In the movie, they had a 10-spoke pattern that looked pretty similar to those BBSs that I just chose, not these ones, the one before. And I wasn't a big fan of how they looked. Well, I'm also not a big fan of how these BBS wheels look. Sorry, rims look as well. But I'm gonna live with them for a little bit. I kind of just want to stare at the car more and see what I feel like. Putting race tires on, adding some tire width. As we know, this car handles really well, so may as well lean into that. And yeah, I'm not happy with those wheels. I want to choose something that's a little more close to what they had in the movie, in Too Fast, Too Furious. Let's see if I can find it. That one's pretty close. Not too sure. Wasn't feeling it. I know there's some nice wheels down over here by W Works. That's pretty close too. I like that. Not feeling. There's got to be something else in here, something better. Those look too heavy, like too much aluminum. I like this. I like the way this looks. This looks like the movie, but the rim itself is like concave, and I like how it's set back. It makes it a little more dynamic. So we're going through the performance parts. I'm going to upgrade our little centrifugal supercharger. I'm going to throw on a race exhaust. The supercharger and the race exhaust are the only two things that were actually talked about in Fast and Furious fandom website about this car. Everything else is things that I thought were necessary to run this car. So did the brakes, did the suspension, did the transmission, a differential, skipped out the clutch. Who needs a clutch? You know, put a driveline in, make it a little lighter. And then, you know, you can't take the wing off the S2000. That rear wing looks so good. I got to keep that on, but I did put the front arrow on because we were still able to stay in our class. And then was able to throw on some front sway bars, front and rear sway bars. Alrighty, and now we're going to take this car into the tuning selection right away. We're tuning it right now for Yas Marina Short, and I'm going to hold on to the tuning that I do here for Sebring as well. Right there, we're taking the tires down to 28.5 psi. That's typically where I put all my cars. I know some people go between like 28 29. It's a good place to be. So and then we're taking our final drive. We're pushing it all the way to accelerate. The little cheat code here is that your car is going to go a little faster. Your top speed is going to be a little higher if you do that. I'm not sure why it is that way, but it is. And you can see my gears are pretty close together there. That was intentional because I am on a smaller track, and then we're also racing in B class, so I'm more focused on acceleration than I am top speed. For alignment, I put the camper angle to high, to the highest setting. I didn't change the actual angle of the on the front suspension, but front rear suspension, but I just increases the angle. And then for aero, we took it up to cornering. For brakes, right now we're taking up the brake pressure, and then also putting the balance towards the rear, which is, it works inverse, so the rear is actually putting more force onto the front of your car, and it allows your rear to rotate more, which is nice. Helps with handling. Alrighty, so now we're getting into it. Here we are, little Suki's S2000. Welcome to Yas Marina. This car obviously never made it to Abu Dhabi. I believe Fast and Furious did make it to Abu Dhabi. Fast and Furious 5. No, Fast and Furious 7. Alright, so here we are. Exoset. You know those guys are OP. Also the white, the blue Honda. Oh my gosh, blue Honda. Blue Miata. I love the Miata. What a great car. And then a yellow Porsche up on the inside. It looks like a speedster. And a green, probably an 86. Green 86. Yellow Vauxhall. Fighting up ahead. I had never raced this layout of this track before. I don't typically do B class. I'm more of a class and above Forza player. Not that I think there's anything wrong with B class, but for me, I like racing faster cars. So typically, yes, in class. Yeah, so this is me learning the track, and looks like the Mr. Focus up there beating up what looks like a Subaru BRZ, which is fine for me, you know. This is Forza. They make contact, they slow each other down, and we're able to skip right ahead. After eating the curb on that inside of that corner, the first apex, then you want to start trail braking, going throughout that second apex. And here it's more just about accelerator, being in the right gear. Second gear for me was the right one. And then powering out here until you get to the big heavy braking zone here. Slam on the anchors, try and get the car rotated in, turn in, and then accelerator out. I screwed up my exit there, so I scrubbed a lot of speed, but you should be able to take your exit speed on that corner. It should be pretty good. And throughout that race, the ending of that race was not that great, so we're skipping it. I more or less just stayed in those two positions. I got passed by the BRZ and wasn't able to keep up with them, so got pretty lonely out there. And now here we are at Sebring, a little more entertaining race here. You're going to see a couple of the same cars. I think we saw that Exoset somewhere in this pack. And this car, even though we're using the same tuning that we had at Yas Marina in that short circuit, the tuning for the car works pretty well for what we have here at Sebring. I could have used a little more top end if I'm in draft for Sebring, but for the infield, it worked like perfectly. I had no issues, and it really felt good. It felt locked in the whole time. So there, in that first couple sequence of S's there, or the first couple sequence of corners, you see those guys collecting each other, probably about 4 wide. I was able to get by all of them. They were collecting each other on the grass and then up on the curb. And now we're able to get by the Exoset. It was like Celica with a Castrol paint job on it. Everyone's taking the racing line there, so I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna go to the grass. I'll take a penalty if I get it. I got lucky and didn't get one. Now our job is just to keep that Exoset behind us. You know, you can never trust an Exoset. They're always out there to get you. Yeah, there you go, buddy. As you see, trying to take me out. Get ghosted. And then we have a Renault Turbo up in front of us. That's a cool little car. That would be a car that I would love to have in real life. I'm a big fan of vintage cars, and that car was 70s, 80s. Really quite an incredible rally car. Be very fun to have. An interesting car to have. and trying to take an inside line here. I get on the gas too fast and I make contact with the muscle car. I use that contact as an excuse to cut that corner, which isn't great. But just being honest here, yeah, wasn't that nice of me, but I did it, and yeah, we're able to get by that Renault Turbo. Looks like we're chasing a Miata, a Mazda RX-7 up front. He takes himself out into the barriers. That's very kind of him. I think I'll be doing either a red RX-7 from also Too Fast, Too Furious, or the green Mitsubishi Eclipse from Too Fast, Too Furious. I think it's the Eclipse, Mitsubishi. I'm gonna get beat up. That's what I'm saying. Getting that car wrong, but it's okay. Alright, so now we're on the tail of a muscle car. A little American V8 Mustang up in front of us. In a beautiful red color. Don Lee Watson. Imagine this guy has some power in the car, so he's probably got top line, but not much handling. That is a heavy car. Catch him up in the braking zone. Take it down to first gear, get it rotated, bring it out second. Get the car going. Yeah, he's got some good acceleration in that car. He must have a big acceleration and power build. Coming in on the brakes, able to get right up next to him, and he's powering out. Same thing with the last two corners. He's pulling away. Alright, so this would be nice. I can probably get him throughout these couple more handling corners. This Honda build definitely was not optimal. If I were to be redoing it, I think I would be putting the turbocharger in. Yeah, not upgrading the turbo, just doing it like stage 1 turbo. And then having probably my exhaust, my air filter, and then let's say valves or something like that upgraded on the engine. Is a lighter, your turbocharger is going to be lighter, and you're going to get more power out of it, more top end power out of it. So running myself a little wide there. I don't really have much of an excuse for that one. I just late braking. I'd love to say I was feeling the pressure from the Mustang behind, but I really wasn't. Just bad driving. Now we're holding on to 7th place right now, coming across start finish line, and in the first corner, facing this Nissan 350Z with a big wang on the back of his car. Putting down the anchors, take a wide entry, smash the apex. Didn't make contact, dang close, didn't do it though, and try and get this guy in the exit. Those Nissans, those Zs typically have pretty good straight line speed, but it looks like that guy went for more of a handling build. Throw down the anchors here. I was late on the brakes, so I really had to like check myself up getting towards the apex of that corner. You can see how close that guy came to collecting my bum at the apex of that corner. And then I'm dropping 2 tires onto the grass. I lose concentration and I late brake myself into the grass. I have now become Suki the lawnmower, and which is not an optimal line, of course, as we know. Yourself out of the grass. I'm just like, oh gosh, I made all that headway. Now I'm back in 9th. Got to catch back up to these guys. The trio, Turbo, Mustang, and the 350Z. There you go, nice S section here. Keep it wide, put on the brakes early, and then be patient and power out. I know I have good power, and I know the Mustang does too, so I'm just trying to stick behind him. I'll get the turbo, Don't need to worry about him. Can I get the Mustang up alongside in the braking? We're still good braking. On the gas early. A little too early here. And I thought I could hold it. And he smashed myself into the barrier. Oh, I mean, that is just unfortunate. I did not recover from that accident. Yeah, Suki's S2000 was a complete fumble. Partly by my bad driving, partly by the build. But thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Hope you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.